everyone, I'm your host Neha, and you're tuned into Durian Dreaming, the show that brings you extraordinary stories from seemingly ordinary experiences in Indonesia's fast paced market. Let's dive into today's conversation with another inspiring guest. Hi, everyone. Today I'm sitting with Anish Daryani, the guy behind Moonfolks, a new creative agency that's shaking up the Indonesia's marketing scene. From rebranding MNC Saatchi to building one of the best places to work in Asia, Anish has been in the news for big ideas and bold moves. In this conversation, we get into his motivations to going independent, his take on the evolving media landscape, and why creativity in Indonesia needs a louder voice. Without much ado, let's welcome our guest, Anish Daryani. Hi, Anish. Welcome to our podcast, Durian Dreaming. We're very excited to have you with us.
Hi, Neha. Good morning, and thanks for having me here. I'm excited as well. Love the name Durian Dreaming. A lot of my friends have been featured on your podcast, so I guess I'm happy to be have my voice right next to them. So thanks for having me.
We're as excited to have you with us, Anish. So, Anish, you founded Moonfolks in 2024 after your stints with top agencies like Mullen Lowe and Leo Burnett. So, what really led to Moonfolks? Like, what really led to you starting your own thing?
I was in Low in Vietnam, and yeah. So, but when I moved to Indonesia, I fell in love with the country, with the people, with the food. And then I was like, I used to call myself a hippie in a suit because I traveled from country to country every 2 years. Uh, I was in Kenya, Nigeria, went back to India, then Vietnam, then here. And then I was, I really felt the need to anchor my ship. So Indonesia happened to be the place. And back in 2018 happened to be the time when I wanted to launch my agency. So happened to do a joint venture with MNC Saatchi at the time. And then we ran that joint venture together for about 6 years. And somewhere in between, I felt that, it's good to have a global brand as a partner, but there was a lot more agility I needed to succeed in the complex environment in Indonesia. And so that led me to sort of buy out my independence from that JV. So we acquired JV. I happened to acquire the JV by December 2023. And 2024 is when we launched Moonfolks.
So, Anish, you have worked with big brands, right? Like you mentioned, you work with Leo Burnett, with Lowe. So, when you started your own thing, what is the big difference you found between running your own show and having worked in global MNCs?
See, I always had a tremendous sense of ownership when I ran other businesses, when I ran it like my own until I ran my own company. So, of course, the stakes are so much higher. You have got so much more skin in the game. When you shoulder responsibility, when 150, 200 livelihoods depend on every decision that you make, that responsibility makes you act a lot more differently. And then the focus changes not only in terms of your personal ambitions, but also collective ambitions of your team and you. And I think that itself makes a huge difference in the way you approach things.
So, when you left corporate life, it must have not been easy, right? So, can you recall any moment, any particular incident in Moonfolks where you felt this is it? Like I have made a mark and it's all worth it. That's why I left the global corporate career.
See, I haven't left a global corporate career. I might run an independent agency, but I think I still maintain the same values and a lot of the ethos of running an organized system. And right now, I've also, have a joint venture with Havas. So I have access to the entire Havas network. And I'll talk about that a little bit. But see, with MNC Saatchi, the beauty was that we had complete autonomy in the way we wanted to run our business in Indonesia. It was a very entrepreneurial way of working with them that, I knew that the buck stops with me. It's just that because we were built, most of our business was very local and we built that of local relationships. So we just felt that we were in a state where we didn't really need to ride on a global brand like MNC Saatchi.
Okay.
And somewhere between Dami Elk and I, we had become our own brand in Indonesia. And that's where we really felt that, we were ready to run this entirely by ourselves. They work with us for who we are and not necessarily what we call ourselves. And that then gave us the confidence saying that okay, maybe it's time to entirely own your own business rather than have someone else have a significant share in it. Yeah, so that's how it came about being.
So tell me something. You've been in the ads world for close to 2 decades or more.
More, yeah.
More. The ad world is constantly changing. What's one thing that you have learned that you think will never go out of style?
I think at the end of the day, um, it's all about creativity, and that's consistent, right? Irrespective of the tools might change, the tools might evolve. When I started my career, I think my initial induction was still on, how newspaper ads were literally put together through
Yeah.
fonts, etc. But then it quickly evolved into um, digital platforms that helped. So a lot of the sort of the creative folks had to evolve their art to be able to express it digitally through, Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop and the works. And then now I see another transformation happening where we need to evolve our creativity through a series of prompts. And so that's the next big evolution that's happening.
Right. Anish, let's touch a bit on the media landscape in Indonesia. For TikTok, Indonesia is one of the biggest markets.
So,
And especially, it's like the heartbeat of the Gen Z culture,
correct,
right? And TikTok has changed the game for the brands.
correct.
So, what's your take on TikTok per se channel?
Sure. So when you go back 3, 4 years ago, um, TikTok didn't have the best imagery. It was almost like people's guilty pleasure in a way. There was a lot of content, those dance videos and some silly videos that masked the diversity of content on TikTok. But in reality, TikTok has a lot of diversity in terms of its content, and it's mapped against different passion points. So, there's if you like reading, there's book talk. For travelers, there's travel talk. If you want to learn how to make money, there's fin talk. So there are so many different passion points within TikTok, and they were masked by all these, dance videos. It was almost looked upon as a dance platform, and dance is a very niche sort of, passion point. Not everybody wants to dance or sing or perform, right? And that's where that was our first big opportunity. We created so again, came to understanding what problem we're trying to solve, right?
Right.
And then we did that through creating a brand platform, which we called Seronia the TikTok, which is joy in TikTok. Okay.
Okay. This was a campaign name.
This was the brand platform. Yeah. Seronia the
And for which brand was it for?
for TikTok, for a brand TikTok.
Oh, for brand TikTok. Very exciting. Okay.
Okay. And then we got in the most unlikely influencer. If you're familiar with Najwa Shihab, she's one of the most celebrated journalists in Indonesia. And so we brought her as the face of TikTok. She had 20 million followers on Instagram, zero presence on TikTok. And we got her to engage with over 3,000 content creators on TikTok across multiple passion points. And so her 20 million followers of Instagram were able to discover TikTok for the first time through her eyes.
That's such a smart way to change perceptions and definitely a bold choice of influencer. So, Anish, Indonesia is probably the fourth largest country in the world.
It is by population.
Yes.
Yes.
And it is also a creativity hub.
It is.
Despite all that, we feel that it underperforms at awards like Cannes. Or let's just say we are underrepresented at Cannes. Why do you think that is?
I think there are two issues. One is a little about exposure, because the talent here, the only thing that they I think lack is exposure in terms of understanding what it takes to win. Um, and I think that's where I believe we can play a role as an organization, is give them that platform, give them that opportunity to go and compete among the best creatives in the world and see where you stand against them. And we're very confident that some of our creatives are super talented and one of the best in the world. And this is the opportunity to prove it. So I think, yeah, so number one is lack of opportunity. Two is, I think clients here are very focused towards business oriented results rather than awards. And I think a lot of that drive, it's a partnership between a brand and its agency. So only the agency trying to drive it sometimes is a futile attempt, I think. And then we have certain brands that are more excited about awards than even the agency itself sometimes. And so when it's the right kind of brands coming together with the right kind of agency, and they have a common goal, a common vision to create a standard for excellence, that's when it gets really exciting and interesting.
Yeah, Anish, you talked about there's some amazing talent in Indonesia, which is so true. I mean, the newer generation is full of talent, full of that energy, and full of very out of the box thinking.
Correct.
So when you are hiring a talent,
Hmm.
what's one thing that you look in that no resume can show you?
Sure. I think, I mean, I want to build a platform where people can come and do their life's best work. Whether you work with us for mostly, like we've got some really amazing retention in terms of staff, but I'm saying that even if you work with us for a day, we want you to do your life's best work. So that hunger, that passion, that energy, that ambition to want to do your life's best work, that's I think that's one thing that I definitely look for in people, and that can only happen when you meet people and you gauge the energies and you talk to them rather than what a CV can tell you. Yeah.
Okay. I think Moonfolks got an award for one of the best places to work in Asia. Okay. And you mentioned it's got the lowest attrition rate.
Yes.
So, what's your secret to keeping the team motivated? Especially, it's a client facing role. So, especially those hectic project deadlines. And the reason I'm asking is because we've often heard that in advertising industry, the churnout is very fast.
Yeah.
So, how do you keep your team motivated?
It comes down to having a shared culture with people. So I think if there's one thing I can take a lot of pride in, it's building a strong team and then building a strong culture among them, that they believe that there's a sense of purpose to what they're doing. It's not just coming into work. So, whether it's becoming the best place to work in APAC, or global social media agency of the year, which was for the first for any agency from APAC to be and so when you instill this sense of purpose in them, that's where I believe it's not about somebody offering you a little bit more salary, or or a bigger designation or a bigger title. Then you're part of something so much bigger, and
Hmm.
you're on this mission and you're halfway there and you really want to see it through. So that's one aspect. But we also have some very, very interesting HR policies. For example, we've never fired someone or had any rounds of attrition or anything. And sometimes it's very hard to stick to that. But we believe that when you come into Moonfolks, you've got 3 months or 6 months to prove your capabilities. But once we take you in, you're one of us. And then, like in a family, no matter what happens, we're gonna stand by you. Like,
That's a great approach. I mean, it sounds like you've built a team that's truly like a family, not just like peers or co-workers. So, for young Indonesians who are looking to make a career in the advertising world, what one piece of advice would you give it to them?
Yeah. Enter this business only because of if you have passion for it, right? Don't do it. I mean, advertising doesn't pay the highest when it comes to beginner levels when you're entering the industry. Obviously you're not in it for the money. Working hours can be crazy. We try to temper it as much as possible by intervening, putting systems, functions in place, etc. But it is a demanding profession. The only way to get through it is that you could have had the worst day of your life, but the next morning you wake up and you're all excited because it's a different day and you're going to do it because of the hunger and the passion you have for building brands, for doing something purposeful, for changing the world. So yeah.
One last question. What's next for Anish Daryani? Any moonshot ideas we should keep an eye on?
Interestingly, our strategic approach is called a moonshot. So we believe that every brand deserves a moonshot. So yeah, interesting use of terminology there. But see, I think I'm on a mission where, I'm not just building an agency, I'm building an ecosystem, an entire marketing solutions ecosystem. And fundamentally, I believe that, the reason why companies build brands is because they want to sell more. Of course, they have purpose and, they want to play an important role in people's lives and make a difference to the world and stuff. But at the end of the day, fundamentally, people build brands to sell more. And so what we've largely done is we put commerce at the heart of everything we do, right? And we build capabilities around it. So, our advertising services and branding services, they translate brand purpose to commerce. Digital converts content to commerce. With shopper and, activations, we're kind of elevating brand experience to commerce. PR, which includes influencer marketing and reviews and ratings,
Okay.
which is now our association with Havas Moonfolks. Um, we are able to bridge connections to commerce. So
Okay.
everything we do, we kind of, and the way we do it is what we call audacious commerce. So all of this works together to create these extraordinary results. So we're in a fascinating place where we have built an entire ecosystem, and it's only the more ambitious brands that are, hungry for something like this. So yeah, in the immediate future, I think it's going to be more of building and consolidating any of that.
Got it. So your moonshot is really about turning brand purpose into sale. I mean, that's a big vision. Thanks for such a fun and candid chat, Anish. It's been awesome hearing your stories, insights, and getting a glimpse of the other side of Anish Daryani. Wishing you and Moon folks loads of success ahead. Thanks once again for being with us here.
Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Durian Dreaming. I hope today's discussion sparked some new ideas for you. Don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts, and stay tuned for more exciting stories. Until next time, keep dreaming big.